Hey guys, Schmook here. Welcome back to another episode of Sports Betting here. And we had a wild week 6. I think we had a lot of picks correct, actually. There might have been a few wrong. I think I got the Raiders versus the Broncos wrong. Raiders are still a functional franchise without John Gruden, so good for them. And I think that's it. I might have hit every... Oh no, Bills I got wrong, because Bills had a crazy Monday Night Football. Crazy game, actually. Can't believe they decided to go for it on 4th and 1. If you're the coach, yes, I get you want to be aggressive, but why take the L there? Like, there's only like 20 seconds left in the game. Like, just kick a field goal. All right, just kick a field goal, take it to overtime, and you can win that game. And you also probably could have covered the spread if you win that game as well. So, a little salty about that, but that's all right. But yeah, crazy week. Again, I think I got all the picks right. So, let's hope, besides 2. I think 2 is the only number of teams I think I got wrong. But here's the looking out for a good week 7. I think we have a lot more tougher matchups this week. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So Thursday Night Football, we have the Denver Broncos going to Cleveland to take on the Browns, right? Now the Browns, they're quite the banged up team right now. And I don't know how to handle that with betting like this week. Like the Broncos, they have a solid defense. I mean, they didn't look great last week, but they were able to put points on the board. They just couldn't stop the Raiders. That's the problem. And the Raiders, they're looking like a better offense than the Browns, solely because of the injuries, right? And also the Browns' defense is quite banged up. So I would say it's tough. It's based on who actually plays, all right? So if Baker plays, even though he's dealing with an injury, I know Kareem Hunt on the IR, Nick Chubb, I don't even think is going to be playing either. So that's huge L. Jarvis Landry might come back, but Odell might be hurt now. Like, that team is banged up, guys. Like, I would like to pick the Browns here. But again, even that defense is banged up. I mean, Denzel Ward's fine. I think Greg Newsom's fine. But Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, he's out, I believe. Myles Garrett will be fine. He's the man. He should be able to get after Teddy B. But it's a real tough game. Like, it depends who they have at quarterback, ultimately. If Baker plays, I'd say even with all the injuries on offense, I'd say Baker should be able to make something happen. Even though I don't love Baker, but like it's better than whoever they have after him. It's probably Case Keenum, who I have a soft spot for, right? But I mean, come on, he's not a starter in the league, right? Or unless they go out and say, fuck it, let's get Cam. Because Cam, he's vaccinated now, so teams might be more willing to give him a shot. Specifically these teams that are starting to get injured at the quarterback position. Again, it's a tough pick, but I'm going to say if Browns players are playing, like, look out for the inactives, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Because if Browns are at least semi-healthy, I'm giving it to them because they're at home. But for right now, for my pick right now, I'm just going to go Broncos because they're the healthier team right now. They need a bounce-back win because they started off the season 3-0, so they need a bounce-back here, all right? So we'll go with the Broncos. All right, next up, we have the Kansas City Chiefs going to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Titans just won a huge game at home against the Bills, so I thought we're the best team in the league. And they should be, but I don't know how that. I mean, they just allowed Derrick Henry to go nuts on him. All right, that dude had 3 rushing touchdowns. Chiefs defense is terrible. Derrick Henry should eat. AJ Brown was dealing with a sickness. He should be fine, I would say, for this game. Julio Jones was dealing with some hamstring issues though in the Monday night game, even though he made an insane catch. I'd say as long as one of them are available, I honestly would maybe pick the Titans to win. Given the fact that it's at home and that Chiefs defense is not good. But of course, that offense was starting to click together last week. They were not looking good in the first half though. But then of course, Pat Mahomes does what Pat Mahomes does. He starts killing it. Like the football team is looking like they're gonna win though, and the Titans are a much better team than the Washington football team. It's hard to pick. Given that it's at home for Tennessee, I would possibly pick them. It might just come down to coaching. And of course, Andy Reid, I think, is the better coach than Mike Vrabel. But I don't know. This is a hard one. I think this is not an easy week for picks, all right? I think I'm just going to have to pick the Chiefs because you can never count out the Chiefs. But the Titans are red hot. Yeah, they're banged up though, so that's the thing that might give the Chiefs the edge based on if AJ Brown or Julio are out. But again, Derrick Henry should have another monster game against this Chiefs defense. So again, it's a tough pick, but I'm gonna have to pick the Chiefs for this one. All right, next up we have the Washington football team going to Green Bay to go to Lambeau, take on the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers is looking like that bad man he is. I'm just going to make it easy. It's going to be the Packers. All right, the football team's not a bad team, but the Packers are finally starting to come together, specifically with Aaron Rodgers. He had a slow start, but he's looking great. Like, he's fired up now after last week beating the Bears at Soldier Field. He, like, some lady in the stands flips him off once he ran in for a touchdown. He says he blacks out and he doesn't remember what happened, but like some teammates are saying, he says, "I still own you," and it's like, that's crazy. Like, I don't love the guy, but you gotta respect that guy with his mentality. But yeah, just easy pick. Just go with the Packers. They're ready to go. All right, honestly, this is gonna be a closer game than a lot of people think, because we have the Bengals going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Okay, now the Ravens are gonna win this game. That's just my pick. But the Bengals are looking solid. Like, dude, they honestly went to work on the Lions. Like, I was shocked to see how much they were killing it. Like, they literally won that game by like 20 points, which is nuts. Honestly, that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase connection is unreal. Joe Mixon's looking to come alive, which is dangerous if he's looking good. That O-line staying sturdy. But again, now they're going to Baltimore and take on a much better team. Like, they could be competitive, though. I think they'll be competitive. But when the Ravens this past week, honestly, just took on the Chargers and destroyed them. Like, they destroyed the Chargers, and they're legit. Like, the Ravens I think they're now looking like the AFC contenders. Like, they could make it to the Super Bowl. Like, they're looking unreal. Lamar's taking a huge step forward. Like, he's seeing the field really well. He's throwing the ball well. Of course, he's still using his legs. He has unbelievable pocket presence. Like, he just knows, like, he'll just take a quick look to his left, and he'll be able to back up and just dodge some guy about to sack him. Like, the dude's unreal. Super mobile. Again, like, it's tough to not pick them in this game. Like, again, the Bengals, they've been looking good, but they should get rocked here. And who knows? Could be a big upset, honestly, but I don't believe it. I think the Ravens will, honestly, they'll probably cover whatever the spread will be. It probably won't be too big of a spread. I bet the spread will be like 5.5 points. They might give them the full like 7.5 to win by a touchdown and more. So it's a tough one. So I don't know if I'd be betting on the spread on this game, because again, I think the Bengals can make it close. But yeah, so go with the Ravens. All right, next up we have the Panthers going to New York to take on the Giants. The Giants got rocked by the Rams, absolutely rocked, and then the Panthers looked terrible against the Vikings, but somehow the Vikings allowed them to make it a close game. Be fair though, it shouldn't have been that close. Like, the offense for the Panthers was not doing well at all that whole game. They were able to get a fumble recovery, and then I think they got a blocked field goal, and they were able to take it in for a touchdown. So the game is different than it looks, but of course, I don't know. So with the Panthers, Christian McCaffrey is going to be out again because he's on the IR. Sam Darnold did not look that good, but the Giants' defense honestly, it's not looking that great. Like, compared to last year, like, Giants were actually bringing it together towards the end of the season. Daniel Jones had a career, he tied, I think, his career high with turnovers. Like, he had 3 picks. I think he fumbled the ball at least one time against that Rams defense. Obviously, that's a much better defense, but the Panthers, they have a good defense. All right, they have a really good defense. I think Andrew Thomas is hurt. Kadarius Toney's banged up. Sterling Shepard's banged up. Kenny Galladay's banged up. He might come back, though. Saquon, I think he's still out. But Daniel Jones will probably play. But there's not a lot of offensive weapons on that team right now since they're all so banged up. So Daniel Jones isn't going to be able to do much with that football. So I'm going to take the Panthers here. I don't love this game, but I think the Panthers, this should be an easy win for them. But of course, it's all based on Sam Darnold. All right, we have an interesting matchup here. We have the Falcons taking on the Miami Dolphins at Miami. Honestly, I know the Dolphins just lost to the Jags, but again, they're not at home. They went all the way to London. This was Tua's games. This was Tua's first game back off the IR. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it because the Falcons, again, I think Calvin Ridley might still be out. I could be wrong, but Calvin Ridley could play. Matt Ryan's been looking fine. Kyle Pitts is good. That defense isn't great, so Tua will probably be able to do some work, and it's at home in Miami. But also that offense is also banged up outside of Jalen Waddle, because I think Devontae Parker's still going to be out. He might play. If he plays, then I don't know. It's a little more interesting. I don't know. I think there's a lot of weird matchups this week. This is a hard week to make your picks, in my opinion. There's much better weeks some weeks, but we kind of have shit teams against shit teams, and we have good teams against actually really good teams. So I'm just going to say Miami solely because of them being at home. Tua actually looks solid against the Jags. And I think, frankly, I think the Falcons have a worse defense than the Jags. So, and then if he has Devontae Parker back, that should be great. All right. So we'll just go with the Dolphins. I'm probably wrong. Falcons could win, but I just don't know what to think about the Falcons or the Dolphins for that matter. But Brian Flores is on the hot seat, I would say. And that defense needs to step it up a bit. Like, they have a good defense, a good young defense. So they should be able to get at least 1 or 2 turnovers in that game. That could be the difference maker. So that's what I'm going to say. Go Dolphins. Next up, we have the New York Jets going to Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots. All right, here's what I'll say. 1, easy dub for the Patriots. I'll say. That team, like, that's why Belichick's one of the best coaches in the league. Like, the Cowboys go to Foxborough, and like the Patriots were able to take them to overtime, and that's what's crazy, man. Like, when the Cowboys were able to cover that game, they had like a 0% probability of doing that. Then overtime hit. They could have kicked a field goal, but there was just an awesome throw by Dak to CeeDee Lamb. But the Patriots were in that game that whole time. That was a wild game. Mac Jones looked really good. He had one bad throw to Trayvon Diggs, and it's whatever. That dude's been a monster. But the Patriots should win this game. Mac Jones is looking really good. All right, next up we have the Eagles going to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. I'm honestly just gonna say the Raiders. Like, again, the Eagles, they look okay. Like, they were able to actually cover against the Bucs, even though the Bucs won, but the Bucs didn't cover, which I thought was nuts. That was a wild Thursday night football game. I lost some money on that game, but I'm not going to talk about that. But the Bucs are good, but the Eagles were able to stay in that game. They were only down. They were down less than a touchdown. They lost by 6 points, which is pretty nuts. I think they might have lost by 5 points. I think it was 5 points. So the Eagles, it's hard. All right, these are 2 teams I just don't know what to think about them. Like, there's so many teams where I'm just like, I have no idea what to think. Like, it's any given Sunday, specifically this year. The Eagles, like, Jalen Hurts looks okay. That defense is banged up. The Raiders, I think they have one of the best defensive ends in the league right now with Max Crosby. Derek Carr looks good. Henry Ruggs, I think, is looking good. He's kind of looking like that first-round pick he was 2 years ago or last year. I don't know. Josh Jacobs has looked really good, though. So I think, all things considered, I think the Raiders have the better offense against these 2 teams. And the Raiders have a slightly better defense than the Eagles. So I'm just going to go Raiders, and they're at home. So we'll just pick the Raiders for this one. All right. Well, now we have like 3 easy picks in a row. And I don't even want to get too deep into it because I think these teams are just going to win. So first up, we have the Lions going to LA to take on the Rams. Easy win for the Rams. Easy. I would love the Lions to get a first win here. If they beat the Rams, that would be crazy. It would suck for my bets because I'm obviously going to be betting on the Rams. No question. They're going to be in every one of my parlays because that's an easy matchup for them. At least it should be. And, of course, it's Matthew Stafford going up against his old team and Jared Goff going up against his old team. So that should be a fun game. Fun game to watch. Next up, we have the Bears going to Tampa Bay, take on the Bucs. Here's my thing. The Bears might actually be able to be competitive in this game because I think Justin Fields is kind of coming together a little bit. He's not looking great yet, but this is a true test to him. But Brady should be able to just carve up that Bears defense. I'm going Bucs. Easy pick there. Next up, we have the Texans going to Arizona to take on the Cardinals, the undefeated team in the league. I think now the best team in the league. Now that the Bills have lost. They lost to the Titans, but the Cardinals are still undefeated. They look really good. Like, they had a kind of interesting week a few weeks ago. But then they go up against the Browns and just destroy them. Like, they destroyed the Browns. So yeah, easy pick there for the Cardinals. And now it gets a little interesting. We have the Colts going to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. The Colts are looking like a better team. I'm going to be honest. It looks like they're kind of coming around. Like, it's not... Like, this is a hard game. Because, again, it's based on Trey Lance. Trey Lance should be able to do some work. But... the Colts, I think they're looking better. Carson Wentz actually looked really good last week. And frankly, that 49ers defense is banged up, as they always are. I think the Colts O-line's looking better, so they'll be able to stop like Nick Bosa. I don't know. It just depends. I think this comes down to defense ultimately. If the 49ers can hold off the Colts, then the 49ers should win this game because it is at home. But the Colts, I think, have the much better offense at this moment in time. And that's just who I'm going to pick. I'm just going to go with the Colts. I'm not going to second guess myself. I think Trey Lance still needs a couple more games before he starts looking really good. So there we go. And that was the Sunday Night Football game, which I forgot to mention, which kind of and in my opinion, got a pretty weak Sunday Night Football game. The last Sunday night was kind of weak too, but I won like $200 off the Steelers winning, which was nice. But anyway, we have for Monday Night Football, we have the Saints taking on the Seattle Seahawks at Seattle. Man, like Seattle, like they were still able to look pretty decent against the Steelers, even with Geno Smith at quarterback. If they had Russ, I'd easily be taking Seattle here. But Geno, I feel like he's a confident quarterback, but I think he gets in his head. The Steelers, I think last week's honestly really spoke for the Steelers not being a great team, and Tomlin getting outcoached by Pete Carroll. Even though the Steelers still won that game, it should not have been that close. It really shouldn't have been. But the Saints have, I think, one of the best coaches in the league in Sean Payton. Jameis he's been looking pretty solid. That defense is really good. So I think the Saints should honestly be able to take on Seattle and kick some ass, frankly. So that's what I'll say for that. Just go with the Saints. Seattle could win it, but I don't see it being very likely. But yeah, but that's it. That's all for Week 7 picks. We have a lot of bye weeks this week. Actually, we have a ton. Like I know the Cowboys are on bye, the Chargers are on bye, the Vikings are on bye. The Steelers are on bye. There's a lot of bye weeks, which sucks because those are some teams I like watching a lot. Like Steelers, I think they're fun to watch, even though they're not that good. But I like Najee Harris. The Chargers, obviously Herbert's the man. The Vikings, they're my favorite team. And then the Cowboys are looking like one of the best teams in the league. So it sucks not to be able to see them. But whenever they come back, we're getting Sunday Night Football between the Cowboys at Vikings. So I am pumped for that game. I have a ton of Cowboys fans as friends. So it'll be a very fun week for me. But yeah. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope these picks are accurate. I've been kind of on a roll. I feel like the only a few I've been missing. I wish I've been keeping tabs on it. If Sam can honestly like put down a figure at possibly what my winning to losing record is, possibly at the end of each video, that'd be awesome. I hope he does. Just to give you guys an idea of how accurate I have been on these picks. I know first week I was a little rough, but the past 2 weeks I've been on it. I've missed like maybe max 5 total these past 2 weeks. But yeah. Not to my own horn. I'm just trying to win y'all some money. All right, so come to me if you want to win. But hopefully this week is good. But the matchups are a little rough. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, guys. Leave your comments down below. Let me know who you guys think are locks for the week. All right, I want to know. But all right, I'll catch y'all really soon. Bye bye.